Welcome back. So, today I'm not sure what we're going to do. Um, so the idea is to let me just open this thing here. So the idea maybe it's to switch to Debian 10, and that way we can build the different Rescatux versions for all of these OS. So the question is this going to work with Debian 10? The live build version that we are trying to build, is it going to build properly to Debian with Debian 10? I am not sure about that. Maybe what we need to do is to, do something else. In any case, if we don't test it, we are not going to know if it works or not. You know what I mean? So so Debian 10 is Buster, isn't it? So the way of doing this would be to check out Buster 2026 architecture B01 and see what happens with all of this. So basically, if we clean everything, which is make clean right now, we should be able to find everywhere where bookworm is used, isn't it? So let me see. We have a lot of places where we use bookworm in order to build, live build. This one is for the ISO itself. So look at that. This is the switches, so that the ISO that we built is one thing or the other, and it's common. Maybe it's this one, the one that we want to change to see what's going on. Look at that. So this is terminal live build scripts build. TPKG moves. 1 second, what the hell is this? Bookworm. Look at that. Begin remove after Foki. In the bookworm to Trixie update DPG, she moves start step diamond from spin to USB and duplicate the diversion to cover both. Okay. So this would allow us to use Buster, I guess, without any problem. We're going to change the bookworm from the common stuff in here, common switches, the distribution, to see what happens. So this is going to be use Buster instead of bookworm to see what happens. Welcome to the stream. So now we should be able to build this thing and see what happens, if it works at all. And we were using number 14 the other day, and that's what we're going to be using today. So we prepare an ISO and then we build it. So let's do it. So we prepare AMD 64 ISO and then we build it. Let's see what happens. Because this should still using look at that. This is still working on a bookworm Docker file thing, but then it tries to get this thing, which is the master release, and that's where it fails. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. So let's ask this thing. I'm trying to change the build of live build the images from bookworm to master. This is an old version of Debian. I am getting this and that. Help me redefine default repos so that a compatible snapshot.debian.org URL is used instead. Use LP variables so that I can integrate them easily in the current build architecture. So I'm not sure. Okay, look at that. Debian Buster has been moved off the main mirror, so def.debian.org no longer serves it. You need to point live build to the archive or a snapshot service. For reproducibility and compatibility, snapshot.debian.org is the best choice. And this is the minimal LB variable solution of snapshot, which is like this. The timestamp this thing late enough so that Buster is complete, early enough that the package still exists consistently. You can tweak it if needed. Okay. Important. Disable valid until check. Snapshot has expired metadata, so you must disable validation. Bin distribution explicitly. To avoid live build trying to be clever, you have to use this thing. Alternative, simpler but less reproducible. If you don't care about exact reproducibility, you can use the archive. No guarantees packages won't disappear. Change. Snapshot is safer for CI build systems like yours. Integration tip based on your setup. You can define a reusable block like this. Common gotcha. If you still see error, make sure you're not missing snapshot URLs plus.debian.org. Note left over here and there. Clean previous build. Yeah, I could do everything in one place if I wanted to, but this is not the idea. The idea is to have some variables here and there. So let me double check how all of this has been. So this would be like mirrors, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Okay, so are these common ones? Yes, these are common ones. That doesn't matter the architecture or whatever. So I can use, I should be able to open this folder here and so let's copy and paste. So this is going to be mirrors. Wait, it's mirrors, not update. So ChatGPT recommends us to use this thing here. Let me try to put here bash, although I'm not sure how this is going to work. Use explicitly mirrors. Use snapshot mirrors. So in theory we should be able to just, we don't need to support anything, but because that's how this worked. So the only thing that I don't like having here is this LB app options, which we're going to have in another, here it is, we're going to have in another file, and everything in here doesn't need to have the export thing. Okay. Yeah, so basically what this is doing here is that the LB mirror binary matches the th root one. So let me copy this thing in apt options. apt options. Okay, so allow to use, how the hell was this displayed here? Snapshots have this thing, so snapshot we disable validation, and we do that by doing this thing here. We can also set the highlighted here, nice. And regarding mirrors, I want to know this thing, so maybe we should ask when Debian Buster was finally archived. Let's go into the stupid thing that changes into Spanish. Okay. Look at that. Debian 10 Buster was officially moved to archive.debian.org on March 20, whatever. Okay, so long-term support did not finish to June 30, 2024. So we're going to use like July 1 August 2024. So basically 1 August 2024. So it's something like this. August 2024. Let's comment this thing here. Where the hell do we have this thing? Booster end of let ended at June. We set it up about 1 month later. Okay, so now we have all of this. I'm not sure this is going to work as expected, but we will see. So hit the status. So add mirrors to use Buster repos to be able to use. This is a too long commit message, but anyway, let's go with it. And now we can again prepare. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do properly. So what I want to write this down. Annex running prepare tries has errors. We might need to run make prepare inside of Docker so that it's run as root. Currently we get errors if we run it twice. So this is something that we're going to fix, but not right now, but later on. Okay, so run live build lbconfig. Okay, so here we have away the moment. This one should not be here. So let's amend the last commit. Let's amend the last commit. Okay, now we have the snapshot mirrors and the lbapt options. So now we should be able to run make clean, even if it's not what we want to do. We want to be able to run make prepare again. So let's prepare the platform. Let's try to build it and see what happens. So now we should take into account all of the mirrors that we have set. Supposing that the LLM has not forgotten some random mirror here and there, you know what I mean? So yeah. So apparently this is working as expected. So that's nice. It's taken a long time because we are using this snapshot repo. So it begs to ask if we should mirror this thing somehow, somewhere, or if we don't care about that. Okay, so wait, it's getting a lot of packages. It has finally ended the set package, and as you can see, it's downloading faster packages. So that's nice to have. So yeah. So we have an error here. So we're getting those errors when trying to build an image. Are we missing some additional LB settings that allow distro to build? I think I use something else. Yes, you're very close. The issue is not the mirror anymore, it's that live build is not applying our APT options everywhere. LB APT options alone is not enough for all stages, which is bootstrap root binary. Live build splits APT usage internally, so you must force the option at config level. Proper fix. Otherwise you have LB APT secure, so LB APT options bootstrap root and so on. Okay, so this is what we originally had, LB APT options, and here we manage for these options to be inside bootstrap and root binary. So hopefully that's very late, long after Buster EOL, more breakage risk. A safer known good range is this thing. No, I want the most updated Buster thing. There's this fallback to sources.list. Live build runs the bootstrap inside, and this its stage may ignore generic options unless explicitly set. Let's try this thing here. So we've got the APT options thing. Um, so export space, and now this might work. So if I take a look at this, commit, let's say that this is number 2 because I'm not sure this is the right thing to do. Let's make clean. Yeah, I need to improve this part so that I don't have to build everything from scratch each time I do any change. Let's have here some matrix blue. Okay, let me see. Yeah. Where's the thing? Where do I modify? Okay, so I get it. So if I use, wait a minute. So I had seen somewhere this one here, so maybe we can set this thing to 14. Okay. So I think I'm getting the same thing, isn't it? The expired thing. So so it says that if this does not work, LV apt secure. Let's do it here and see what happens. I think this is the right place where to put everything, if you know what I mean. So this would be number 3. Make clean. Let's prepare. Let's build everything. Hopefully now it doesn't complain. I should probably have a smaller set of packages to be installed here so that we don't have to do any of this. And I should probably have a local mirror so that this goes faster. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Otherwise, we would have to, you know, otherwise we're going to need to do something else, like the thing that LLM is suggesting, you know, put this snapshot.list.th root inside of the sources list so that it says check valid until no. In any case, what we can do while this tries to build is to check what we had in the old. So let's keep the build thing down and let's try to read what we have here before the our architecture. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff. So I'm not very sure where the hell did we set. Okay, this is failing again, isn't it? Invalid since this and that. So we have the make common. This is the older stuff. So here maybe we can find out what the hell did we use in order to build these old versions. Although I'm not sure because this is trying to use bookworm. Because before changing the architecture I tried to use bookworm. So archive areas, main non-free, this and that. Okay, look at that. Allow insecure repositories true. So this one here we have. Then we have force, yes, yes. Acquire, allow insecure servers, allow downgrade to insecure server. Okay, so let's try to use this thing here. APT, wait a minute, those are APT options, so I should be able to use them if I'm not mistaken. Wait a second, so let's try to use that instead of fighting with what's the thing? So maybe we can do something like this. Okay, so we already have yes, if I'm not mistaken, so that's something that we could do like that, and then we can allow this and that. So the idea is to allow insecure repositories here and to allow downgrade to insecure repositories here too. Look at that. And I'm going to remove apt secure false because anyways it doesn't work. So this is my attempt on fixing this thing, and I'm using several lines so that it doesn't you know, doesn't fail so much. So now we should be able to do something like this. Yeah, make clean again, make prepare, and make build. So the idea is that we can later on we can run make prepare and it doesn't complain about permissions. So we have to run this thing inside the Docker. That way maybe all of these packages that we are downloading again and again from snapshot.debian.org are not downloaded again and again. We don't consume so much bandwidth and this goes faster, you know what I mean? In any case, right now I'm just focusing to see how the hell we can manage to build Debian 10 with all of this expire metadata from the Debian repos. And so hopefully this works as expected, you know what I mean? So make common, so let's check the old stuff for now while this builds in here in the background to see if there's anything that we might want to do. Mirror Theatre root security. Okay, I see. Bootstrap apt recommends false. Huh. Update is false. Maybe updates for this. Maybe we want updates false. Now that you ask about me about this, updates false. Maybe that's the right way of doing it. Updates. Using still fails. Can we use updates false with a LB variable? This updates false thing is LB config. LB config updates false, but in order to avoid updates in the first place, okay, so LB updates false is the equivalent of LB config. So the question is, where the hell do I put this thing? So do I put it in wait a minute, it's already here. We already have it. Damn it. So that's a problem. Huh. LB security false. Important, even if you set doesn't matter, LB security true, live build will still inject the security repo. Subtle behavior of live build internally treats like LB updates controls the updates repos, LB security controls, and there are specific bottom lines. Don't find expand it and remove the repo entirely. LB security false? Is that something that we used back in the day? Security. It doesn't seem like we used security back in the day. Yes, there's this Debian security thing, but you know. Don't find this LB security false. The question is, are we having this problem regarding security or not? Let's try the How can I apply your suggested fallback such a way okay, so 1 second here. Should I remove should I remove okay, should I remove some of the lines of so that they do not collide? Look at that. If you are not latest line, you see the 3 dots things. Good question. If you apply the fallback, you must avoid conflicting configuration. Right now, you would have collisions. What the fallback actually does, the config archive instances in live build injects entries directly into atc apt sources.ls inside the ch root. Happens after mirror barrows process can override duplicate what mirror finds. So if you git both, you'll get duplicate repos mixes options. Okay, so clean way to apply the fallback. Remove th-root security and binary security. Also remove automatic insection and add the fallback file, which is this one here. Snapshot date. What about security repo? You have 2 choices. Option 1, do not include it. Stable, no spirit issues, works for most build. If you really need it, you also add it here. You must keep security false, otherwise it gets duplicated again. Key rule. Pick one source of truth, so either you use LB mirror or you use config archives. Practical recommendation for your project. Given your Docker, this and that, I would go with LB mirror, config archive, this and that. Final step, don't skip the purge. And we have 10 minutes left. That's not nice. So basically it says to apply all of this. So this is one step, and then the other one is to have this config archives stuff. Snapshot.list.throot and snapshot.list.throot. Yeah. Too much stuff for doing one go. And in any case, so it says LB mirrors the root security to be not used and binary security to be not used. Then we have LB updates updates to false that we already have, and let's have here like 35 security. So L35 security, it's going to be LB security. So that we control security repos manually. Okay. And then we should try to use the mirrors, whatever. So So we're going to add this and that, and this is going to be this thing here. And now the question is, how the hell do we set up packages lists? Oh, look at that, these are packages list. So it's config common. So this is special directory, but those ones here should just match whatever it makes sense on the on the lbif-conf realm. And the way this works is to just have here the snapshot thing. So I should be able to do something like snapshot dot list of theats root, and now I can find out which is the snapshot day, which is here. So I just want to use this thing here. So this is not a variable, we should just use this thing here. Okay. And there's also the security repo thing that it's around here. So it's a bit similar to what we had. So this is the snapshot date, which should be here. Check valid until no. Okay. So add mirrors. So this is going to be like add repos to be able to use add basta repos. I don't know. So now we should be able to make clean. Yeah, I'm going to push this for now. Then later on we will see if we rebase all of this. But we were doing make clean, then make prepare, and finally make build. Let's see what happens with make build. You know what I mean? So right now we have all of these options and whatnot, and hopefully in addition to what we are using inside of the theats root, hopefully that's good enough for this to be able to build, so to install packages. So hopefully that's good enough, and we will end the stream here when this builds. And if it doesn't build, we will also end the stream. So let's see how this goes. Yeah. Let's take a look at the old settings to see what we might do in future streams. So wait a minute. What the hell is this? This is new. Or isn't it new? Now I don't know if we were in the theatroot install thing. After applying the after applying a snapshot list with both the regular and the security repos, I am getting could you explain to me why that happens and what the solution might be? Let's see. APT has found the same repository, it's defined twice with different options. Why? Yeah, so the same repository defined twice. So if we take a look at here, it's not the same thing Debian than Debian security, but somehow somewhere else it might be defined. That let's see what this is. So entry 1 from Debian live build, which is this one here, and Debian entry to your fallback root cause. Even if you run lb security false and lb update is false, live build still generates the main repo from lb mirror chroot. Your fallback file is not replacing, it's adding clean solutions. Disable live build sources entirely. Disable live build sources entirely. Then keep and that. Remove all mirror variables. Okay, so let's write this down and we will end the stream here, otherwise it's going to take too long to fix this in one single stream. So development nodes, so I'm not sure what day is today, so like this. Keep on reading the LM suggestion on clean solutions. Pick one so that we can force the force to use only one repo, and that it allows us to use expired packages repos, so that we can finally build faster. So that's what we're going to need to do the next day. Here it is. So they ask us to disable lbapt, lbapt source, remove all of these variables, or otherwise you should be able to fix it only with these settings, which doesn't work. What about solution C? Overriding state of alien. So use this thing here and this thing here. Yeah, lb theatroot apt source, which is not the same thing as this one here. So what I recommend for your setup, this and that, and debug trick, confirm this thing, same repo defined. we will read this thing the next day, because otherwise click solutions. But I think the right one is solution number one, which is just try to avoid the default thing, not to do anything, and then you just the bootstrap. Okay, so you only have lb mirror the bootstrap, and then you have your snapshot.list.th root that uses whatever configuration you want you to use. So that's going to be everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.